Today we're testing TikTokers 1-star recipes. As a cookbook author myself, I know what it's like to get unsavory reviews. So let's see if they're justified, and at the end of each recipe, I'll have to leave my own honest review. So let's start with the Pasta Queen. I was gonna say Sofia Vergara. She has almost 11 million followers across all platforms and the only TikToker in this video with her own Amazon Prime show. So we're gonna be making her timballo di pasta e polpettine. Pasta baked with meatballs, mini meatballs, because it got some 1-star reviews. Soak the fresh breadcrumbs in milk for a couple of minutes, but if you're using dried breadcrumbs, do not soak. In a large bowl, massage together beef, pork, breadcrumbs, Parmigiano Reggiano, garlic, egg, salt, parsley, and a scrunch of pepper. You know what? Let's just use our hands. Let's read a review. The book is gorgeous to look at, but having looked at a few recipes, they seem not in sync with most Italian recipe books I know. Using sausage links to make ragu bolognese, form the mixture into balls about the size of an acorn. I have an idea. I have a gadget that makes mini meatballs. So let's make it easy on ourselves. Voila. This recipe is supposed to make 50 of these. I followed the Pasta Queen on Facebook without noticing she rarely posts full recipes. There's good reason for that. She's better at marketing herself than developing recipes that result in good Italian food. I purchased the book and made one recipe that called for ground beef mini meatballs, one 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes cooked for 10 minutes, and a pound of pasta with a little basil then covered with cheese and baked. Results: dry, tasteless goop fit for children. ... if they're not Italian children. After looking through the rest of the book's recipe, I see that they mostly include underdeveloped dishes lacking depth of flavor and complexity. The Pasta Queen may make gorgeous food videos, but I'll stick with Lydia and Marcella recipes for gorgeous eating food. 1 star. I think I broke this. Oops. The review was so harsh, even my meatball maker couldn't handle it. But in her head note, she said there's a big controversy in Italy about pasta and meatballs. It's not typical in most of its fiercely regional cuisine, so many Italians write it off as purely an American invention. All over the south of Italy and in parts of Abruzzo, Nonna baked trays of pasta studded with tiny meatballs, proving that this combination indeed exists. So take that, reviewer. Now to cook the meatballs off, she says, in a large skillet, heat the oil over medium-high heat until it shimmers. Add the meatballs and brown all over about 7 minutes. Let's try her meatball move. Remove from the heat and set aside. So now we're gonna cook off the pasta. We're gonna start by preheating the oven to 400 degrees, and then we're gonna bring a large pot of water to a rolling boil over high heat. Season with salt until the water tastes like a seasoned soup. Drop in the pasta and cook until very al dente, which she recommends cutting the cook time in half. Now she says for the tomatoes, you wanna crush it with your hands. This feels oddly satisfying. In the oven-proof skillet, combine the brown polpettini and tomatoes. Bring to a simmer over medium heat and simmer for about 10 minutes to marry the flavors. There was another review that says these were not simple recipes. So far, I feel like it's pretty easy. Add basil and simmer for 1 more minute. Fold the pasta into the pan. Oh, well, she bakes in a pan, but I'm gonna pour mine into a baking pan like the photo here. Distribute the provolone and Parmigiano Reggiano evenly over the pasta. I feel like this is a lot of Parmesan cheese. Cover with foil and bake for 15 minutes. Uncover and bake until a crisp crust forms around the edge of the dish, about 10 minutes longer. Allow the timballo to set for 5 minutes before slicing and serving. It looks and smells so good. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little afraid that there would be no sauce left in the pasta bake, but it still looks decently saucy. That meatball is so good. And there's like a cheese crust on the pasta because we added so much of the Parmesan cheese. It definitely flavored an otherwise just very simple tomato sauce. I think I'm ready to write my review. The Pasta Queen's polpettine recipe was simple but so flavorful and incredibly easy to make. I've seen Italian grandmas make these pasta bakes and I've always wanted to try them. Now I finally have the real Italian way and it did not disappoint. Mangia mangia. 5 stars. Next up we have Tiffy Cooks with almost 7 million followers. She's known for making easy Asian recipes on TikTok and for making her husband epic meals on YouTube. Her book looks delicious, but one of the 1-star reviews said, these recipes all look great, but we've tried 3 of them and nothing has come out right. We meticulously followed the instructions with the 2 we tried today and both were literally inedible. I mean, the photos look great, but if there's two things I want to try from Tiffy, it's the smashed garlic cucumber salad and her shrimp and pork wontons. So we're gonna start with her garlic cucumber salad. Rinse the cucumber and pat dry, cut off the ends. So apparently this was her first viral video on TikTok, and I've always wanted to try it. Place one cucumber on a cutting board and lay the blade of a large knife flat on top of one end of the cucumber and lightly smash down on the blade with the other hand. Repeat along the length of the cucumber. Now cut the cucumber crosswise into bite-sized pieces. It still has pretty big bites, so I feel like I'm going to just break it in half to look more like hers. Then place the cucumber pieces in a medium bowl. Massage the cucumber with sugar and salt and then set aside for 20 minutes. This will draw the excess water from the cucumber to help it stay crunchy. Okay, so while this sits for 20 minutes, I'm gonna get started on the wontons. She calls for 1 pound of minced shrimp that you mince by hand. I have always wanted to try this. Zongi scissor hand here. So after that, we combine the shrimp with pork, oyster sauce, ginger, white pepper, dashi powder, sesame oil, egg white, and scallion whites. All right, so for the scallion, she wants the whole thing chopped, but only the white part goes into the mixture. Wait, but I don't see where the green parts are gonna go. Am I supposed to add the whole thing? That's enough green onions for me anyways. Mix it well. Break up the pork and the shrimp pieces. Make them one. In response to that 1-star review, this next part is actually very important. I like how she has us testing the filling first to see if we like it before doing the whole batch. Microwave 1 teaspoon of the filling in a microwave safe bowl for a minute or until it's fully cooked, and taste and adjust the seasonings if needed. It's like a little pork and shrimp meatball. Only thing I will say is that it could use a little more salt, but we're gonna leave it as is to fully test her recipe. Okay, now let's assemble the wontons. She even teaches us how to wrap them. First, set up a small bowl of water. Holding one wrapper in your palm, spoon 1 tablespoon of the filling onto the center of the wrapper. Fold the wrapper in half to form a rectangle and press the edges to the seal. I need to practice my wonton folding skills. Fold the edge a quarter of the way down and dab with some water on the 2 ends. Then bring the ends together, pressing them to seal. Repeat with the remaining wrappers and filling. If that totally confused you, she actually gives a demonstration of how to fold them step by step. She gets a star for that. But another harsh review had this to say: the author spends way too much time talking about herself. I came for her recipes, not her biography. She's just giving you her experience. Then she goes on to say, the recipes call for unusual ingredients that would be hard to find. And I'm saying that as a person who lives within walking distance of an Asian grocery. Glad I got this from the library. All I have to say to that is, good thing we have this pantry staples in a box from Momofuku. Let's see what we got in here that can spice up our meal. We have Momofuku sweet and spicy Korean barbecue sauce, some chopsticks, a variety of noodles, and their iconic Momofuku chili crunch. Perfect to go with some spicy wontons. You know what else would go really well with this meal? Some tangy chili wavy noodles, along with some chili crunch to round out our feast. Okay, we're gonna cook off the dumplings, and she says to bring a large pot of water to a boil over medium-high heat. Once the water is boiling, working in batches, add the wontons. Cook the wontons for 4 to 5 minutes until they start to float. Okay, it's starting to float up, so we cook it for 1 more minute. Drain the wontons and transfer to a large bowl. Oh, these are actually big boys. Now let's cook our tangy chili wavy noodles. Okay, so I'm supposed to cook these chili wavy noodles for 4 minutes, and then after it's done, I drain the water from the noodles, and then I mix in the Momofuku tangy chili sauce and serve. That looks so good. We'll add just a little tiny bit more sauce. We're almost done. Gotta finish up our cucumber salad. Drain the cucumber and transfer it to a medium serving bowl. Sprinkle the cucumbers with black vinegar, garlic oil. This garlic oil recipe is also from her book that I pre-made. Light soy sauce and sesame seeds. Add cilantro and crushed peanuts. Toss together and serve immediately. This is a feast right here. We have our chili noodles, vegetable cucumber salad, and then we have the wontons. Now I want to try the wontons plain just to see how flavorful it is. Piping hot. Okay, this tastes so much better